What it do, Internet? David Baugh here, and today we're going to be talking about the movie Over the Moon. Let's get into it.
Oh, as long as it looks good for the Internet.
Now, we go over every movie in the same metrics here on this channel. We do it by story, pacing, acting, cinematography, and execution. That way it stays consistent and you can see where a movie is failing as opposed to just random thoughts that I have about it. But let's get into it here. Number one, story. I am not going to give it the point for story. I felt like the reason that it was lacking is because they did far too much music to it. You know, there are things there that it's like, these are larger concepts. I would have liked this to have been explained to me, but they do it through song, and yes, that can convey information effectively, but it was just every little bit of the dialogue was sung, and you know, at a certain point it just was too much, you know. Pacing, I'm not going to give it the point for pacing either, just because it drags at times. There's stuff that really needed to be said to the audience that then doesn't get put through in it just doesn't give the time that it deserves there. They kind of keep going back and forth, and then at the end of it they just sort of come to some lesson that wasn't really set up in the rest of it. And I just feel like it, you know, there was problems with the story certainly, but there was also problems with the way that they were going through said story. It just felt pretty disjointed, and there were times where it's just like, you know, you just sort of forget why you're doing something. I just felt like it didn't go through there. Acting, I will give it to him. There's a lot of really good singing going on. There's a lot of good character work being done, and you know, there's a lot of really good character work being done. There's a lot of good choices being made, so I will give it the point for acting. Cinematography, it absolutely deserves the point for cinematography. There's some really beautiful animation in there. I love the way that they brought in some of the cultural elements from China, and it's you know, the textures, the colors, everything was pretty well done as far as cinematography goes. Execution, I will give it to them as well. I did have a problem with their story. I did have a problem with the way that they told the story, but execution, you know, given the script, given what they had, given everything, I felt like, you know, they kind of knocked it out of the park for what they were trying to accomplish. Overall, I'd say, you know, it was a fun movie. I watched it with my daughter, and we had a good time. It was, you know, definitely worth a watch. I can see how if you like singing and you like musicals more than me, then it's probably going to be better for you, but ultimately it was a fun movie, good for the whole family, and something I definitely recommend checking it out. So I'm going to be giving it a 3 out of 5, but that's all I had for you guys today. It was a pleasure as always, and you have a wonderful evening.